Around the Table on Harrison's Original, KHOZ.
Welcome to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. It is a Thursday, and it's the first day of May.
Yes,
now,
it is.
What was a little limerick? Was it a limerick or a little nursery rhyme you were telling me?
It wasn't a nursery rhyme.
Hooray, May, go away.
Hooray, hooray. First
Hooray.
day of May.
That's it.
Outdoor something starts today.
Outdoor
but
picnics.
Insert whatever you want in
Picnics and frisbee throwing and all kinds of activities, right?
All kinds of activities.
Yeah. Even nighttime activities. Cow tipping.
Yeah. We can do
And
some
snipe hunting.
Yeah, all that, Dan.
It's the start of May.
It is. It means, doesn't that mean like, I don't know, something good?
Yeah.
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 Besides hurricanes, or
Maybe
is it hurricane season yet? Because they are
Oh my gosh,
predicting
no.
an amped up hurricane
I thought
season.
hurricanes was like in February.
It goes through November.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know when it starts though.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
so happy May 1st to you, Dan.
Maybe the rain will cease and desist a little bit.
It's June 1st to November, to the end of November. So we're not there
okay.
yet. All right.
Is that hurricane season really?
Yes.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was in February. Oh, I know what
No.
that was.
No.
It's
What is
Mardi
it?
Gras. That's when the hurricane thing happens. Mardi
The
Gras.
hurricane glasses.
In Mardi Gras, yeah.
Oh, y'all, I got no words. Sometimes I have to go, does he really think that? Okay.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Dan. We didn't really have much nasty weather yesterday, but we had
didn't.
a lot of rain.
Had a lot of rain.
Yeah,
I
we
drove home yesterday at 4 or 5 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a one-lane traffic because no one wanted to get on the outside lane.
That certainly tells you where they need to. The road needs to be able to
Yeah.
divert water.
Well, Harrison's always been a place in certain spots where, if it's raining heavy, I mean, it floods until the drains suck all that water down.
You gotta be careful of hydroplaning in that instance.
Yes.
Slow down.
Yeah, I had a little hydroplaning accident. Wasn't an accident. It was oh my gosh. I was driving 65 South, and over there where Napoleon's used to be.
Yes.
Remember that place? There's a curve there.
Yes.
There's a big puddle there, and I
Yes.
went through that, and I went straight.
That's scary.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, the things you don't think about.
What happened?
Well, finally I hit dry pavement, and it jerked me back. But I'm like turning the
that's
wheel, and it's not
scary.
moving. I'm going into the parking lot almost, and I was clocking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I was-
slow down.
I
It's
was
my
going to s-
thought. I don't
wait a
know what
minute.
else to do.
I was going the speed limit.
Okay, but slow down.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
really.
that's what I do. I don't know what else to do. I feel like I'm in better situations.
That's the best thing to do. Slow
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you're going so fast that the momentum of the vehicle is riding up on top of the water, and you would think that would be impossible because of the weight of the car.
Right.
But there's so much speed that you're rising above the water
I can't even.
on your tire.
that
I
sounds
know.
like some kind of physics exam or something.
Well, you've seen that. You know what a sailboat does. They have that keel in the
Yes.
bottom. If you're going too fast, you start to come out of the water. I think it's probably because of the wind. But one of those things, you get on them like a ski, and there's a foil underneath it, and it raises you up out of the water. Same kind of principle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
There
like
you
a,
go.
Like a wing of an
Like
airplane.
a wakeboard kind of.
Yeah. You're sliding across the water
True that.
till
You're not.
you're not. Yes. Until inertia stops you. Something stops you. Stops the inertia, like a
Yeah.
tree or another car or something.
Or just losing your balance, perhaps. I guess. I mean, in that instance.
Yes.
Oh,
So
well,
it's
we've gotten our. Oh, sorry. There.
so it's May the 1st.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
So
Sure enough.
So when do you start planning for your like lake time?
Anytime.
Anytime you can go now.
Before my slip fee, I mean, this is in all honesty, our slip fee is due by May 31st, so we will go take the boat out and make sure we're functioning correctly before I pay it. Because if I'm not, ouster.
Oh, so what about barnacles and things like that?
I don't find barnacles on it.
Oh yeah, you don't.
No, but there's
no lake
stuff
barnacles.
I can't get off, huh?
Lake barnacles.
Well, I'm sure. I don't know. I've not run into a barnacle.
You've never heard of the lake barnacles?
No.
They're
Barnacle Bill the sailor. That's about all I got. But no, I don't. Are there barnacles, Dan?
Yes.
In the lake?
Oh, they are exclusive lake barnacles. There are certain species.
Are you being serious?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Look it up
Oh, I will.
after the show when I'm gone.
You're such a liar. Y'all, I don't know. I'm innocent here most of the time.
I'm sure there's some kind of yuck that grows on the
There is.
the bow of the ship.
And then it gets discolored. Ours gets discolored.
Well,
we have
yeah.
an older boat.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
That's
But yeah,
that's barnacles.
it's part of it. But we have to really take a clean into it after the winter.
Do you have a winch or something you'd raise it up out of the water? I mean, how do you get
There's
it out of the water?
a platform thing. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's with air in it. I mean, you turn on the pump and it.
Raises it up, okay. And then you can clean it off.
Oh, well, yeah, but usually we take it out and just. I don't know.
Okay.
You just think about you have to go to the water to clean it, and so we go to the water and clean it.
Yeah.
Or we've taken it home before and tried to power wash it, but we really couldn't tell a lot of difference from that and just hand doing it. So.
Okay.
I don't know, but the older I get, the less maintenance I want, people. I'm telling you.
I'm looking at your face, and it's got that. I don't really want to do this again, kind of look.
Like I don't want to talk about this.
I don't want to talk about it because that means work, and I don't like work.
Well, I don't mind work, but I don't want to have to work. I don't have. Well, never mind. I don't know how we even got off on barnacles and boats.
It's all you. You take
barnacles.
me to the weird depths. Anyway, I think the rain is moving out there. Of course, it does. We still have a chance of rain today. 40% chance tonight, but today it's going to be around 80 degrees today. Mostly sunny.
It's cloudy right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get there.
40% chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight, mainly after 3 a.m., increasing clouds with low 57. And then Friday, chance of showers and thunderstorms, then showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm after 7, high 70 with a 70% chance of rain. And then Friday night, 20% chance of showers with only a slight chance of rain. And then Saturday, sunny, high near 69. Saturday night, low 44. Sunday, high 70 and with a low of 45.
Okay.
No chance of rain this weekend, looks like. For us, anyway.
No, and that's a good thing. Looks like next week, though, it'll maybe be some 20%. And I'm not going into it because it's going to change by then anyway. And you took over most of them, so.
Okay.
I'm just teasing.
Okay.
Okay. There we are.
Okay.
I'm feeling a little barnacle under my skin.
We have Terry Register coming into the studio this morning from the Boone County Library.
And I don't know if Karina will be with her or
Well,
not. I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out, but we're going to get some updates. It's starting to get into the summer season. Where all the kids are out of school, and they're probably planning all kinds of activities for them.
Probably so.
Yeah.
You know, they have a lot going on even during school sessions. So I can't imagine what all they've got planned for summer, but we'll find out some of that. Okay.
All right. Let's ponder a topic.
Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
Who was your biggest influence in life?
My mom.
Okay.
It's a one-word answer. My mom. But I mean, I'm not going to elaborate. She was my only parent. Yeah, I will elaborate. She was my only parent that, you know. So naturally, she had a huge influence on me. And I know you're trying to look them up.
I'm looking some up, yeah.
I want to know what yours was.
I had a high school art teacher that when I was a teenager, I came into his class, and he put me in a position of authority without me knowing it. He wanted to test my ability, and that made a huge impact on me because no one had ever done that before, you know? So I give him credit for all that. And still to this day, I admire and honor that influence that he gave me back then. Sure. Yeah. So he's passed on. He I think he passed 2 years ago, and he impacted a lot of people. You know, and I think
more so than your parents is kind of what you're saying.
And I think that I think a lot of teachers do that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you remember any in your?
Tom Street. He was my music teacher. I mean, he was my choir teacher. He impacted me greatly. So, obviously, music is something I love and still continue to sing, you know, to use that gift. And Tom Street was, very influential. There was all of them, you know. Sally Jo Gibson, she was another one. She was junior high. I don't know where it starts, you know. In kindergarten, it was Miss Ernest because we had to do musical things. It's just all, yeah. But overall, my mom.
I think there's more people that influenced me, you know, people that were older than me, you know, my elders. So, yeah.
Grandparents even in some, you know. Yeah.
It's a good thing to have grandparents. That's
really kind of hard to pinpoint, but that was my first answer off the bat.
Yeah.
That was my most influential person. But I put my mom, and Patricia Mount said my papa. He was my everything, and I thought he walked on water.
Okay.
So those are the two responses we have on Facebook right now.
Okay, good deal. Well, you can respond if you'd like. Go to our Facebook page at Around the Table. Just search for Around the Table and go there. And while you're there, follow us.
I think y'all Facebook's being wonky today. And
Are they?
Anyway, yes, I was going to look and see how many. Oh, we're not up to 2,800.
I know.
Oh, come on, people. One more. All right.
We're going to do some history, and then after that, we're going to get Terry Register in here. So let's do some history.
Okay.
We're doomed to repeat ourselves, so let's find out what happened today in history.
Yes. 84 years ago today, this single word entered the vocabulary of moviegoers when Citizen Kane made its debut in New York. In the movie, the title character, Charles Foster Kane, utters this word on his deathbed as the movie opens. In case you didn't know, Rosebud is a sled. The movie was based loosely on the life of newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst.
Ricky goes, a pitch taken, he's going to have it. He does. Ricky Henderson, no contest, steals third base, jerks the bag from its moorings, and holds it aloft.
34 years ago today, Ricky Henderson of the Oakland Athletics broke Lou Brock's stolen base record during the game against the New York Yankees. Athletics announcer Bill King called the play. Henderson retired in 2003 with 1,406 stolen bases.
Wow.
The pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. He did it. Nolan Ryan has number 7.
34 years ago today, Nolan Ryan of the Texas Rangers threw a record 7th no-hitter in a home game against the Toronto Blue Jays. The 44-year-old Ryan struck out 16 batters, including the last man, Roberto Alomar. Toronto announcer Tom Cheeks was the one with the call.
And that happened on the very same day. Those two
Isn't that ironic?
history moments happened on the same day.
Huh.
Can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we stop making it horrible for the older people and the kids?
This was back in 1992, 33 years ago. On the third day of the Los Angeles riots, a visibly shaken Rodney King appeared in public to appeal for calm. The riots erupted after a jury in Simi Valley, California, acquitted 4 Los Angeles police officers on nearly all charges arising from King's beating a year earlier, despite the video footage. So,
major combat operations in Iraq have ended. In the Battle of Iraq, the United States and our allies have prevailed.
And the crowd went wild. 22 years ago today, President Bush flew out to the USS Abraham Lincoln off the California coast. He addressed returning troops about Iraq in front of a large banner that read, "Mission Accomplished." More than 4,000 Americans died in Iraq in the years after that announcement.
The approach to judging is he approaches life with a feverish work ethic and a good sense of humor, with integrity, equanimity, and compassion.
16 years ago today, back in 2009, after nearly 19 years on the bench, Supreme Court Justice David Souter announced his retirement. President Obama spoke of his admiration. President Obama ended up choosing federal judge Sonia Sotomayor to replace Souter.
That's a bunch of S's, Dan.
Yeah, it is.
You heard this little pop, 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 which was almost like a firecracker going off and stuff, and then the sparks inside the car, you could see them.
15 years ago today, Pakistan-born U.S. citizen Faisal Zad failed in an attempt to set off a homemade bomb in an SUV parked in New York's Times Square. Street vendor Dwayne Jackson was nearby and alerted the police. He spoke about it the next day.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda.
This was back in 2011, 14 years ago today. In a rare Sunday night address, President Barack Obama announced to the American people that an elite naval SEAL task force executed an attack in Pakistan that resulted in the death of al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. Because of the time difference, it was May 2nd in Pakistan when the operation took place.
After 10 years, he's dead, and that's a great thing. Like, it's a great thing for America and the rest of the world.
14 years ago today, in a rare Sunday night address, President Barack Obama announced to the American people that an elite Navy SEAL task force executed an attack in Pakistan that resulted in the death of al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. Did you just read that one?
I did.
No, you didn't. You read the other one, and they're both the same.
Well, and,
okay.
And a man amongst the crowd
okay.
Featured here gathered on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. and reacted to the news.
Bob Baffert does it again! Medina Spirit has won the Kentucky Derby! Mandaloon was second, Hot Rod Charlie was third.
This was 4 years ago today. Medina Spirit, trained by Bob Baffert, won the Kentucky Derby by the half-length over Mandaloun. Larry Colmus had the call for NBC. A post-race drug test was positive for a banned steroid, which would lead to the horse's disqualification and Baffert's suspension. Medina Spirit collapsed and died in December 2021 after a workout. I wonder if that had any...
Don't you wonder?
Yeah, I just wondered about that.
You know, I watched I don't know if it was on Netflix or what, but it was about the Triple Crown, the Triple... Yeah. And they had Bob Baffert on there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's the third major bank to fail in 2 months, and now the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation says it seized First Republic and says J.P. Morgan Chase, the largest bank in the country, would be purchasing substantially all of the bank's assets. The intervention comes days after First Republic reported losing about 40% of its deposits in the first quarter of this year. At the end of last year, the Federal Reserve ranked First Republic 14th in size among U.S. commercial banks.
2 years ago today, regulators seized troubled First Republic Bank in the second largest bank failure in U.S. history. That was CBS News correspondent Matt Piper.
Okay. And then we have a birthday cut. 86 years ago today, singer Judy Collins was born. One of the best-known songs is the version of Both Sides Now.
And also another birthday cut. 71 years ago today, singer Ray Parker Jr. was born. Remember What You Gonna Hear? Ghostbusters.
Yeah. And then another birthday cut we have 58 years ago today. Country singer Tim McGraw was born. Live Like You Were Dying is a tribute to his father, a baseball pitcher, Tug McGraw.
We only do what you're comfortable with.
But you need all those things.
I need you more.
I'm sorry. 43 years ago today, actor Jamie Dornan was born. He'd been known for playing Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with Terry Register from the Boone County Library. Stick around, stay with us. You're listening and watching Around the Table with Dan and Ann. And welcome back to Around the Table with
Dan and
me and what's her name?
Dan and Ann.
Terry Register is here once again. She comes in once a month.
Yes, I do.
This is your scheduled time to be
This
here.
is my scheduled time to be
And
here.
thank you so much for showing up.
Well, thank
For
you.
being responsible and having a work ethic.
Thank you.
Agreed. We had a little discussion on
Yes.
that at break.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I'm sure with school about to.
it's about ready to end for this school year.
Yeah.
And we are gearing up for the summer reading program.
As you exhale.
Yeah. So we've worked hard. We've got all kinds of activities going on. We've got donations coming in for prizes. We have the stuff planned all of June and July. Well, almost all of June and July. And 4 days a week, so we have a lot going on.
Now, a question with that, what you said, donations. What are you talking about?
We look for donations because we are a county agency, and so we do have a budget, but it's not a big budget. And so what we do is we ask companies and organizations if they would be willing to help support our summer reading program.
Do you need more?
Oh, yes, we can
Always,
always use
yeah.
more.
Okay.
Always use more.
What about
So,
just financially?
financially? Yes, we do accept
Okay.
those. That helps support our program.
Okay.
So, yes.
All right.
How do they donate if they wanted to do it
Online?
financially?
All they'd have to do is contact the library
Okay.
at boonecountylibrary.org, or you can call us at 741-5913 and talk to us there.
Okay.
So we will.
But they'll be
take
happy
care
to
of it.
take donations.
Yes,
I'd
we
never thought
would.
about I never
hadn't
thought about that
either.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
financial or other
Or
things. They can
monetary,
they can guide you.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can. So,
Okay.
All right. So we've got that. We're going to start signing up for the summer reading program May 27th.
Oh.
It'll go from May 27th to June 6th. So
Okay.
got to sign up.
Well,
Get
that's what
started.
we. May 27th through June 6th. Okay.
Yep. So it's a 2 week, almost 2 weeks.
That's not very long. Yeah.
No, but
Okay.
we still get
Read,
about
read,
300 to
read.
400 kids to sign up, and then we go all the way through the almost the end of June, or July.
Okay.
So,
One of those months.
1 month at a time here.
Yeah.
So,
Pace yourself.
Yeah.
yes. So, all right. So our adult programs, we've still got 2 more events of our reversing diabetes. That's with Marianne Kaffenberger and her daughter Sarah. They've been working really hard on that. We've got May 6th and May 13th are those last 2 events. We've also got on May 8th, we have Master Gardeners coming, and they're going to talk about hydroponics.
That's
Yes.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
deal.
Growing plants in water.
Yeah.
hmm On May 15th, we're going to have a Mother's Day self-care workshop. Sounds
Mother's
fun.
Day self-care.
Give
Wait a
us
minute.
a little insight there.
Well,
Or do you know yet all the deets?
some of it, I think it's a lot of rest and relaxation. I think we're going to have tea. I think there
Okay.
might be some facial scrubs or something
Okay.
like that going on.
right.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
mhm.
All right.
On the 20th, we're going to have craft fun. Not sure what that is yet. So,
To
okay.
be determined.
Yes. On the 21st, we've got our chair yoga again. That's been pretty
Chair,
popular.
okay.
Is it?
Popular, yes.
I'm glad.
Who's doing that class?
Not sure of the name.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is it Mary? Okay, I'm not gonna say.
I'm
it.
not sure
Okay.
who it is exactly. So, yeah. And then on the 31st, we're going to have a clarinet trio at 2 p.m. They're going to come and play for us. So that'll be
okay.
very nice.
I wonder where these clarinetists are coming from.
I don't know.
It's a surprise.
It is a surprise.
Do you play
yes.
clarinet? You want to join?
No. Didn't you play clarinet?
I did.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I do too. Yeah. So.
Hey, I would say get your clarinet and just be it's a trio. You could do a quadro.
I don't have my clarinet anymore. So, no. Anywho.
Don't forget, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock, we've got our crocheting or fiber arts. Anything you want to bring, come and work on it.
What do you? Okay, fiber arts.
Fiber arts.
Like
Crocheting, knitting,
whatever. Okay.
cross stitch,
Okay.
embroidery, anything like that. And then on Saturdays at 1 o'clock, we've got chess club,
Chess, yeah.
except for our 3rd Saturday, which is our tournament. And that starts at noon.
Okay.
All right. For children's, we have a couple things going on. Today we're having flowers for mom, so you can make mom some little flowers and give them to her for Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
We've got on the 15th we're going to make paper tube butterflies. On the 22nd, we're going to make straw painting. We're going to use straws and do some painting.
Like
Interesting.
like the drinking straw.
Like the drinking straws.
Not like
yes.
The,
no.
Okay. Sorry, I have to clarify.
Our teen programs. On the 6th, we've got beaded bracelets for Mom. On the 13th, Will It Waffle? We're going to find out all the things you can make in a waffle iron. So,
wow.
Is this edible or
edible.
is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Edible. Yes.
I didn't know if you made I don't know, pot holders in a something or another.
No. They're edible. Edible pot holders.
Okay.
And on the 20th, we have steampunk picture frames.
Oh, that's cool.
You're naming all this stuff, and I'm thinking there's a plethora of of things.
There is a lot of things.
Now, what's the guidelines for the steampunk? I mean, you get
our teen programs, young adult programs are ages 12 to 18, and our after-school program is for 6 to 12.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay.
We've also got the Friends of the Library has a book sale on the 9th and 10th of May. So they've got that going on. I think it's a children's book sale. I'm not really positive.
I've got a flyer on it, so I'll look at that later.
So, and we've got, starting in June the 14th, genealogy is going to do their genealogy class for beginners, so you want to sign up for that.
That's a perfect opportunity for someone to get invested in that.
The last one got canceled because of weather, so she's pushed it off till now.
Good.
So,
wow. Okay.
So we have all kinds of things going on. Stop by. We're also going to read on the 3rd Saturday in May. We're going to be reading at the farmers market.
Lovely.
At 9:30.
Wait, certain book or children's book? Children's books. Children's books. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
We'll have a little activity for them to do also.
The farmers market has amped up using other local organizations and businesses to do that, and that's great because it promotes reading.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, and then we will also be at the Baby Fest, which is June 7th. We'll be there also. So
wow.
We just get out and
You're
do
just
everything.
busy. Super busy.
Super
all right.
busy.
Well, good.
Okay.
Well, it looks like we're up to date.
All right. Good.
Okay. Now you're going to take the rest of the day off, or are you?
No.
She wishes.
Or you have to go back to work.
Have to go back to work.
Oh,
yes.
bull.
Oh no.
You're holding down the fort.
I am. Yeah.
Well, Terry, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And we got you scheduled for the next round.
Next round.
It's your hour-long break, or your however long break.
All right, guys, we're going to take another break. We'll be right back. Hey, thanks for joining us today.
Hello. Hello, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Ann,
Good.
thank you for asking.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got anything else to say?
No,
Just yeah?
no. I was gonna mention Dick's 5 and 10.
Let's do.
They've got this $500 a week giveaway,
Yes, they do.
and it's incrementally given away to individuals one at a time. So I guess they give one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, however they do it. But they
Right.
give $500 gift certificates away. And last week's winners were Claire Williams from Nacogdoches, Texas.
Whoa.
Rebecca Barney from Hollister, Missouri. Rochelle Libbing from Missouri. Jimmy Roberts from Texas. And then Laura Kress from Thayer, Missouri.
Well, congratulations to those 5 winners. We'll have a whole new batch of them next week.
Yeah. Go check out Dick's 5 and 10. They're located on the main stretch right there in the heart of Branson. Hollister's over that way.
Yes, it is.
Hollister's. I go through Hollister to get to Branson. I don't go the
Sure,
the normal route.
but your brain's staying in Hollister.
I like to do the run. I like to do the roundabout.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Do those things ever confuse you?
A little bit sometimes, especially when there's cars coming.
Well, when there's a
Yeah.
lot. When there's a lot
Yeah.
going on, I get a little bit
It's not so
squirrely.
bad if there's one lane, but if there's like 2 lanes,
Mhm.
you know.
All I did learn is don't stop. Don't
Yeah.
stop while you're on the round.
That's why I like to go that direction, because you get in. I like to get into the loop and just.
Go around?
You can. I mean, that's safe when you do that. I've done it before. Just keep going around in
Because I couldn't
circles.
figure out which one to get off
So
on.
you know, where am I? And you always have to say who yields, but the car that's in the circle doesn't have to yield. Everyone else has to yield for the one that's in the circle. So if you get in the circle, you're good.
But they've got some. You've got to get on the outside lane there to
Right.
get.
Yeah.
You got to watch. You got to
Yeah.
watch for other people too.
Mhm.
So it gets a little overwhelming
They've got
if you don't do it a lot.
They've
to
got
me.
another one over by Cox, the hospital. There is that Cox?
I
Yeah, I think it's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, they got one over there too. That's
Well, we're supposed to get one on
Goblin
Caps
Drive.
Road,
I think.
Goblin
Yeah,
Drive area.
they've got bids up for that right now.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I think there's going to be 2 of them.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
understanding.
That's going to be
So I
chaotic
guess
until
I'll
they
get
get it.
what, I don't even go that way, but
Yeah,
I guess I need to practice.
you probably should. What I would do is set my alarm for like 2 in the morning, and go through the route, back and forth, or I'm sorry, round and round, round and round.
Y'all, give me a break. Have you ever heard of raw dogging?
I've read about this. Tell me a little bit
Well,
more.
when you get on a bus or transit or something, usually think about what do you do?
Get on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Gen Zs are all freaked out by what they say is a new raw dogging trend on public transit. That's where commuters don't look at their phone or read a book on the bus, but
Okay.
instead just
They just stare into
stare off
oblivion.
into space. Heaven forbid, harmlessly look at other people.
And what's wrong with that?
I don't know.
I like the raw dogging then.
They're calling it barebacking, since
Oh.
raw dogging is what you call the same thing but on a plane. On social media, slightly older commuters point out that this is what everyone did before phones.
That we did.
It is.
We
or
did.
like how many pictures on a I wonder how many times I've ridden on a something and been like anyway.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I got on the Greyhound bus in Ohio, and then in Springfield we jumped on a Trailways.
Oh.
And then when we stopped to change buses, we'd go in and get a drink or whatever.
Mhm.
And if I had 15 cents, I would get a comic book or whatever.
Right.
And that's what I'd be doing the raw dogging on looking at the book.
Yeah,
comic book.
back in those days.
Back in those days, yeah. But mostly, I just sit and look out the window.
I didn't mind. I don't mind. I
No, I
enjoy
like
looking
that.
at the country. Whatever you're looking at.
Gen Zers are freaked out about everything, aren't they?
Well, why?
I'm reading a lot about it.
I don't
It's
know
kind
why,
of,
though. You know?
I don't know.
What is, yeah. Maybe they don't know how to navigate. I don't know. I'm not going to try and guess it. Okay. You got another one?
I do.
What?
You know how long it takes for a hacker to figure out your password?
Probably not long enough.
Let's see. A cybersecurity firm has timed just how long it will take the average hacker to crack your password. And regardless of how complex it is, if it's only 4 characters, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or A, B, C, D, or any combination of the 4 characters long, it takes less than 1 second for them to crack it. A password with 5 characters using numbers and an upper and lower case letter would take a hacker just 2 hours to figure out. But a combination of 8 random characters, numbers, and symbols would take 164 years to crack. So go up to a 12-character combo, and now you're talking about 3 billion years.
You know, it's a pain in the butt.
I know.
But I guess it protects you. And that's why they say don't do something familiar to you, too.
Yeah.
Because if they can hack this, they can probably already know a lot about you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like your birthday, don't use that.
Yeah, most people
kind of
use
things.
birthdays, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But, you know, are we all guilty of using it?
Yes,
sure
we are. Hey, you know that back in the 60s, the Soviets launched a spacecraft that was supposed to go to, let's see, Venus.
Whoa.
And it didn't make it. It says, look out because sometime this month, an old Soviet spaceship is going to come crashing back down to Earth.
Oh, goody.
Cosmos 482 was launched, and that's the name of this capsule, more than a half a century ago, on a mission to explore Venus, but couldn't get out of Earth's orbit, and has been up there since then. Scientists expect it to fall back down around May the 9th, but the problem is they don't know exactly where it's going to land or hit or whatever. It weighs 1,000 pounds, and because it has a heat shield, it won't burn up in the atmosphere. So the entire thing is
I wonder how big it is.
1,000 pounds worth.
Yeah, I know, but I mean how. Anyway,
I don't know.
You would see it coming pretty quick.
I would say it's about 5 or 6 feet round.
Interesting. What if that happened? Wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if they'll be able to dictate more closer to the 9th, too.
I don't know.
You'd think with AI and everything, the flipping thing we have. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just going to get off my soapbox.
I don't know. Maybe they can. We'll keep you posted on this.
Yeah.
Late breaking story. How about that?
Late breaking. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, hackers. We were talking about hacking. Well, hackers could infect your phone through your Apple AirPlay. Now, I utilize that.
I thought that they were immune to all that.
Well, you know, the security for Apple is usually, or in my opinion, has been better than any other company. Wonder how long before Apple issues a new security update because of that. Who knows? They do it all the time, you know. Excuse me. I lost my train of thought. Computer researchers have found a ton of previously discovered ways to hack into iPhones and MacBooks through Apple AirPlay. That's why the feature that lets you shoot music or video onto speakers or TVs. They found that hackers could easily ride that shared Wi-Fi connection and infect the device.
Yeah.
I wonder how do they do? They'd have to be close.
Well, you know when you go to a hotel, they give you a password to get on the internet. Yeah. Well, if a hacker has access to that, they can be sitting in the parking lot and
on their Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and if you are open, your network is open, they can hack into your computer.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't experience a lot of places that has. Well, there are places that have open internet, but there's a lot of them that are locked down.
Yeah.
But well, like
it
here.
Is interesting.
Well, no, we had to have a password.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We do have here.
Interesting.
More than 40% of Americans say that money affects their mental health.
Probably. So,
if paying your bills keeps you up at night, you're not alone. A new bank rate survey shows that more than 40% of Americans say that money negatively impacts their mental health, and it worries us more than things like current events and our own physical health. Inflation is a top money concern among with paying bills and not having enough emergency savings. About 1 in 5 Americans say that nothing impacts their mental health like like money.
Like that?
Like money, yes.
I can understand that.
Yeah, if you don't have enough money, I mean, you're always worried about your next meal or
right, and that
kind of thing.
It isn't good for your health, stress and all that stuff. So, there's a new survey, and staying in is the new going out. Okay. So don't feel bad if you're happier on the couch than at a club. A new survey shows that 3 in 4 American adults prefer to stay in with their friends rather than going out. And it's probably not surprising. This is a shift which has happened over the last few years since the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Some of the reasons people gave for hanging out at home with friends were saving money and comfortability.
Yeah.
They're also said that they can hear each other better.
Yeah,
Amen
really.
to that.
Yeah, really.
We've tried to listen to a restaurant, a conversation in a restaurant, and even now that I don't hear quite as well.
You don't hear
so
quite.
It's a
I don't either.
squirrely, so yeah.
I can't tune out like I used to.
Right.
If I was in a noisy room and somebody was standing there talking to me, I could tune that out. I've lost my tuning out ability. It's all noise.
You're not a tuner-outer anymore.
I try. I try my best. Speaking of tuning out, let's tune out for a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. You're listening and watching Around the Table with Dan and Ann. Stay with us. Welcome back to Around the Table. We are counting down the last few minutes of our Thursday show.
Yes,
where are we at? Where are we up at now?
What do you mean?
I'm counting the seconds.
We're on
what's left?
6.
6?
Yeah, 6. Why not? Random number.
We're not somebody that really looks at the clock, but we have to on this job, so.
We do.
We do.
Sometimes I get very distracted.
By what? Watching the clock?
Everything.
Everything else?
Everything else.
Phone calls.
I just
your phone flashes lights and all that stuff.
It does, but you know, if it's something on here, because it'll keep doing it for 3 times before it quits.
Yeah.
So if I swipe it out, then it won't do that, and then I can go on about my business.
Oh, who are those people? Who are these like
my
secret?
husband texted me.
Oh, husband.
And then a potential guest texted me.
Oh,
and
don't they know that you're busy?
Well, the guest probably does not. Richard does, but he
doesn't care.
Well,
he interrupts you regardless.
No, he.
I think it's payback.
Yeah,
it's payback.
It probably is. I mean, I don't have to answer him right away. You know, so I waited till we went to break and I answered.
Oh, okay.
You know,
well.
There. I've learned to do that a little better.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I do want to tell you. Have you heard of shrinkflation?
Shrinkflation? No.
Well, it's where you buy a bag of chips you used to buy was however much.
Right.
Then you go and you buy one now, and there's like a lot less.
A same size bag, but
with more air.
More air.
Yeah.
You know that's infuriating to me.
Yeah.
It's like we're stupid.
And you're paying the same price.
Yeah, but they make it full of air and hard like you don't know, right?
And I've noticed even buying hairspray or some different things that I buy that the volume is less, but you're paying the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's even affecting frequent flyers who you think they get to go to the Admirals or whatever clubs, you know?
Oh, yeah.
There's travel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, some travel bloggers have noticed that first class airport lounges like American Airlines Admirals clubs are not only offering stingier meals.
Oh.
But they're using smaller plates to keep people from overloading the
buffet. And these are first class clubs, right?
Yes, I mean the annual membership is like $850, but there's
oh my gosh,
what do you call it? They're sticking them. That's not the word I want, but anyway. Yeah. So be careful. I guess someday you're going to buy a $10 bag of something, and it's going to be like this big a lot. Yeah.
Oh
anyway,
boy.
Yeah.
Let's see. You know where the cheapest state to be a part of middle class is? If you're in the middle class, where would be the cheapest state that you would go?
I have no idea.
It says here, Mississippi. A new report from Smart Asset shows you need to earn between $36,000 and $108,000 per year to qualify as a middle class citizen in Mississippi, which is the lowest in the country. Louisiana, Arkansas, and Kentucky are also pretty affordable. The most expensive state is Massachusetts, where you need to make between $67,000 and $200,000 per year to be even considered a middle class citizen. And middle class is considered to be two-thirds to double the median household income in particular state.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So poverty. Is it? Oh.
We talked some about AI and the benefits of it, but also I'm a little skeptical about. You watch a video now and you have to really try to figure out, is that real?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a study that says they can no longer tell an AI voice from a human one.
Right.
Like it's so perfected.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And all the sci-fi movies might be coming true. Researchers in California found that humans can no longer tell the difference between the speech of other humans and artificially intelligent robots. More than 300 people in the study were asked to have 5-minute conversations with 4 different AI chatbots. In the end, those people believed the bots were humans more than 70% of the time, based on the emotion, slang, and flow of speech.
Wow.
What is that going to? I don't know. I keep wondering, where's that going to go? You know?
Well, I'm sure at some point that the actual person that they're imitating would take offense and want to sue somebody.
Well, I guess you know if it wasn't real, if it was dead.
Yeah, and especially if they're profiting from that voice or that image. Yeah, at some point
Yeah. Well, when you call like a credit card company, for example, and your name is not on the account per se, and you ask them, you try to find out information about it, and they say, well, we need to talk to your husband, So there you go. I could just sound like Richard.
I know.
That could be screwy.
Yeah. And how do they know?
How do they know it's actually? Because I've had my son do it. Okay, I didn't say that out loud. I woke him up out of a dead sleep and said, "Excuse me, you got to play like your dad."
Oh my gosh! You know what today is?
No, I don't know.
Well, it's May Day, International Workers' Day. First day of May.
Okay. We all know what happens today.
Yeah. National College Decision Day. Today is one of the biggest, most stressful days in a high school senior's year. They've got to pick a college.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's also phone in sick day. We didn't get that memo.
You know what? If you phone in sick, you could stand the chances of being fired. So be careful with this one.
Thank you for the word of warning.
Yeah, especially if you're a perpetually sick person all the time.
Right. Global Love Day. I thought every day was Global Love Day. Come on. School Principals Day and World Password Day. National Day of Prayer. Okay.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow on our Friday show. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.